Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is the 24th of the 3rd, 2020, the night after lockdown by Boris Johnson, and I have been working tirelessly overnight to plug a petition for a group of consumers who are currently facing the loss of their properties. My name's Jane Sanders. I'm a specialist lawyer, unregistered barrister, and director of JSCS. Briefly, caravan owners in the UK fall into two camps: those that generally have another residence and those that have one residence, and that one residence is the caravan. After speaking with some of my colleagues, and those colleagues being former Royal Engineers, a fantastic band of brothers that seem to have ties and camaraderie that will extend long beyond friendships that you and I might expect to find in Civvy Street, it came to my attention that there is a certain level of bad feeling for members of the public who are perceived to be cheating the system because they have a main residence that's bricks and mortar, and they also have caravans. And in this time of crisis, they have been moving from their bricks and mortar main residences, on which you or I would understand that there would be a mortgage, and moving down to socially isolated places in order to avoid COVID-19. In those circumstances, people behaving in that manner have created a good deal of unrest civilly amongst members of the population that live in those areas, because they're coming down from places amidst a pandemic, potentially spreading the virus, and they are certainly flouting the guidelines that were in place even a week ago by coming down and taking relatively significant portions of resources that are not widely held at the moment because of the global crisis. And it has created a certain amount of mistrust and bad feeling amongst residents living in the areas on a normal basis. The petition that we have put forward, that has been designed by Keith Whitehouse, is not there to benefit those people. We are not talking about members of the public that are lucky enough to have a roof over their head, bricks and mortar roofs, and they are lucky enough to have been able to purchase a caravan or a lodge in the UK as a second home per se. We are talking about people who have potentially been misled into living on site, who are now on lockdown, on caravan parks. They have nowhere else to go, and they are facing the threat of unlawful eviction, meaning that potentially they are exposed to the elements. They would be spreading the risk exponentially, and any holiday park that would seem to behave in that manner would certainly face criminal? No, not yet. But I'm here to say that the petition for which we're seeking your help, and for which the sappers have just stepped up, and I'm eternally grateful for knowing a good number of the people with whom I'm friends on Facebook now, dating back to 1995 in Northern Ireland when I was married to a Royal Engineer. They are now stepping up and signing the petition because they have been made aware that there are sappers, veterans, police officers, key workers that are living in caravans around the UK, whether or not you think that that is a legal position or not, and I do. They are facing the threat of losing their one and only home and being put out. If that happens and they have to go and find accommodation elsewhere, they are going to be spreading that risk. They are going to be spreading risk at an exponential rate amid circumstances where the government has just locked us down to stop that happening. You heard it from me here. I've just been in touch with Jonathan Woodburnsey at Park Holidays. He's group solicitor. And amidst concerns from a number of key workers who are resident legally within the terms of the site licenses around the UK, who are under the threat that they may lose their homes, it's been confirmed that there is an exemption in place under the guidance that's been issued under the reformed legislation, and Park Holidays are in the process of working on the email that will be sent out to owners around the country across the 30 or more sites that are owned by Park Holidays. I invited Jonathan Woodmansey to step up and have a conversation and confirm in writing that there will be no actions to evict any of the Park Holiday owners who are living on site amidst the government clampdown on movements, for the simple reason, whether or not there's guidance, because it would be immoral and I would argue that it would be unlawful. He has confirmed that as we speak, he is working on an email with group management to write out to holiday owners to update them of their interpretation of the guidance. On that basis, I am very happy to say that at this moment, I believe Park Holidays may be about to rely on an exemption that allows for people to reside on site at least during lockdown, which would then fall into what I said. If that is the case, as I said yesterday at my late night post, it would seem illogical for any holiday park to actually take any steps that put the very lifeblood of their economic turnover at risk by evicting them. Because under these circumstances, corporation or not, the income that all of you provide is still the very basis of that business. On that basis, I'm happy to say that it's my understanding that Park Holidays are about to confirm that you are not going to be asked to leave amidst the government lockdown, and that at least at this precise moment in time, those who are resident on site will be treated and afforded the same rights as your brethren who are living in rented accommodation and or owning their properties. That can only be a good thing. I'm hoping, as Park Holidays is a main player in this industry, that the other holiday parks will follow suit. Second of all, thank you so much to Scott Hawtrey. He's just passed the petition round for this small group of individuals who are under threat, who are underrepresented, to something like 50,000 members of the public who just happen to be former veterans and so on. Just to let you know that there are veterans and police officers and key workers, once again, living on these caravan parks around the UK. If they are under threat and the members of the UK population are under threat, it's these people who need the most protection at the moment. That is what the petition is for. I urge you once again to support the petition and understand that it is not there to benefit those who have the luxury of having two residents in the UK. We are talking about people who live on site. They contribute their expenditure on site and in the local shops, bolster the UK economy in exactly the same way that members of the public that buy properties in Cornwall, in Bude, in Fistral Beach, in Bournemouth, Weymouth, in all those areas, they form the exact same basis of support for the local economy that anybody else does. We are talking about protecting those individuals. Keep them safe. Help me help them stay at home. Thank you so much for your time. Please sign the petition and please subscribe.